All right, these are going to be my starting shooting guard rankings for the 2024-2025 NBA season. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about each player. I kind of want to get these videos out here for you guys. But yeah, let's get started. Out of 30, I'm going to have Keon Ellis for the Kings. He was unranked last year. He was not a starter. He was not a great bench player, but I think he's going to be better. He's going to be better than he was last year because he's supposed to start here for this good Kings team. I just don't think he's going to be a very good starter. I think he's going to be a good player, not a good starter. Number 29, Cory Higgins. He was off the bench last year. He's going to start this year probably. I think he's a solid scorer. He does not do much outside of scoring. He's a very good three-point shooter, but still not a very good starter in this league. Number 28, Brandon Podziemski from the Warriors. He was good last year. He's going to be about the same player probably. I don't expect much improvement, but he should be a solid player. Just, again, not a very good starter in this league. Number 27, Christian Braun from the Nuggets. He's supposed to start now because KCP is no longer on the team. He really needs to get better at scoring the basketball. He's not a great scorer, not a great shooter. He's decent at both of those, but certainly could be better. His defense is kind of what's winning him this starting job. Number 26, Gary Trent Jr. He's going to start here actually for the Milwaukee Bucks, not the Toronto Raptors. I just did not put a Bucks picture on him. I believe he's on the Bucks. Hold on, let me fact check that. Yeah, he's on the Bucks. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't an idiot. I think he's going to be good for the Bucks. Just not a great starting player, but he's a really solid scorer here. Number 25 is going to be Grady Dick for the Raptors. He's supposed to start this year. His rookie season was not good at the start, but he got a lot better towards the second half of that season. I think he's going to be really good shooter here for the Raptors. Number 24 is going to be Terrence Mann for the Clippers. He's going to have a bigger role this year probably, but I don't expect him to be much better because he honestly was pretty good last year. He's just going to have more minutes this year. It's going to be the main difference. Number 23, Kelly Oubre. I had him at number 12 last year. He averaged almost 19 points a game, I believe. He's not going to do that this year. They have Paul George on their team. He's not going to have to be as great of a scorer as he was. He's still going to be a solid player here at shooting guard for the Sixers. Number 22, Andrew Nembhard for the Indiana Pacers. I have him fallen a little bit here in the rankings, so I still think he's going to be very, very solid here for the Indiana Pacers. Just a little bit worse than he was last year because they have Pascal Siakam for the whole season now. So Andrew Nembhard's numbers are going to fall a little bit because of that. Number 21, Marcus Smart for the Grizzlies. He was injured all last year mostly, so he was not ranked. But I think he's going to be really good. He's a solid offensive player. He's a great defensive player. As long as he plays how he did 2 years ago for Boston, he's going to be number 21 here. Should be very easily 21. Number 20 is going to be Bogdan Bogdanovic. He was off the bench last year, but no DeJounte Murray for this team means he's going to have to start. I think he's going to be really good. He could average 20 points a game for the Hawks, but he's not going to do much outside of score for them. But he's a very, very good scorer. He was really good here in the Olympic ball as well. Number 19, they got KCP for Orlando. I think he's going to be better for Orlando than he was for Denver, mostly because he's going to play a bigger role and going to be needing to do more for their offense. Number 18, Alex Caruso for the Thunder. He was at number 18 last year. He's going to have a lesser role because he's on a team with a lot more talent around him, but his impact, I think, is going to be felt even more because he's going to be on a winning championship contending team, unlike the Chicago Bulls of years past. Number 17, CJ McCollum for the Pelicans. He's going to be a slightly worse than he was last year. He was number 14 as a point guard. I have him at 17 now. They have DeJounte Murray on their team, so he's not going to have to do as much, but he's still going to be a really solid player. Number 16, Colin Sexton. I had him at number 4 last year. He averaged nearly 25 points a game, and that was in like 30 minutes a game. So his per 36 numbers were incredible last year. I am going to move him down, though, quite a bit. I don't expect him to do what he did last year again. They also have more, talent around him, better guys that are going to probably step up instead of Colin Sexton, averaging as many points as he did. But he's still a really good player, in my opinion. I still have it at number 16 as a really good spot for him, I think. Number 15, Devon Vassell. He's supposed to be injured until about November 2nd, so just the first couple of weeks of the season. I do have him moving down a couple of spots. They have Chris Paul. They have Harrison Barnes. He's not going to have to do quite as much this season. I still think he's going to be a really solid player, though. Number 14, Kobe White for the Bulls. I expect a pretty big leap from him. He's going to have to do a lot this year without Alex Caruso, without DeMar DeRozan. He's going to probably average close to 20 points a game, even maybe 23 to 24, depending on what role exactly he is going to play for this team. But he should be really good here for the Bulls. Number 13, Austin Reeves for the Lakers. He's going to be worse than he was last year, I think. Also, I think the shooting guard market is kind of just a lot better than it was last year. So even falling from 7 to 13, he could still be the same level of player that he was last year. But having better depth around him, having Dalton Knecht to kind of be another – Dalton Knecht's kind of a similar player to Austin Reeves. He's a better shooter than Austin Reeves, but kind of a similar play style. So Austin Reeves is going to probably lose minutes because of that. Number 12, Cam Thomas for the Nets. He was really good last year, averaging over 20 points a game. He's going to average probably 25 points a game this year because they don't really have anybody else that's going to be doing a whole lot of scoring for them. So they're going to have no choice but to give Cam Thomas a bunch of touches. Number 11, Anthony Simons for the Blazers. He was at number 10 last year. He's going to probably be around the same type of player that he was just a year ago. They have better depth around them. Not Malcolm Brogdon, Denny Dia on this team. Others guys, Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, probably being healthy is going to make Anthony Simons, par even a little bit lower than it was recently. But I still think he's going to be really, really good for this team. Number 10, Derek White. He's going to fall a few spots from what he was last year. I don't think he's going to be as good as he was last year. I think he's going to be slightly worse offensively. He's not going to have to do as much offensively, I think. I think they have better depth around him. But overall, he's still a top 10 shooting guard in this league for sure. Number 9, Tyler Herro for the Heat. I think he's going to have a pretty significant leap this year. I would not be surprised if he averages 25 points a game here on very efficient scoring. Number 8, Jaden Ivey for the Pistons, probably the most improved guy here on this list, going from number 20 all the way up to number 8. I think he's going to have a very, very good season this year and be in talks for potentially all-star conversation. Number 7, you got Mitch Bridges. He's a small forward last year. He's a shooting guard now this year. On the Knicks, he's going to have a slightly lesser role than he did last year, of course, but he's still going to be a very, very good player here, in my opinion. Number 6 is going to be Jaylen Green. He's going to have a very, very good year as well. He did not have a good start to the year last year, but basically from the All-Star break on, he averaged like 27 points a game, I believe. He was absolutely amazing from the All-Star break on last year, so because of that, I do expect him to have a very good year this year and be in the All-Star conversation for sure. Number 5 here is going to be Brandon Miller. I think he's going to have a very, very big sophomore season leap here. Very well could be an All-Star as well. I had him at 15 last year as a small forward, which is a very good spot. Honestly, for a rookie small forward to be at number 15, now moving up to shooting guard, I think is going to be very, very good. He could easily average 25, close to 25 points a game, and I would not be surprised. Number 4, Kyrie Irving. He was number 3 last year. Have him dropping one spot, but he's certainly going to be an all-star level player this year, all-NBA level player as well. He's very, very good. And certainly these top 4 shooting guards are kind of in a league of their own. Number 3 is going to be Donovan Mitchell. He was number 2 last year. Have moving down one spot. He's going to be very good. He could average close to 30 points a game here for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 2, Devon Booker. He was a point guard last year, so that's kind of why some of these guys are moving down one spot, just because Devon Booker has to get thrown back into the shooting guard rankings. But number 2 seems very, very fair to him. I think he's better than Donovan Mitchell by just a little bit. And number 1, of course, in my opinion, Anthony Edwards. I think he's going to be a top 5 player in the league this year. I think he's going to average 30-plus points a game and be an MVP conversation. Also, one of the best two-way players in the league, in my opinion. Kind of underrated defensively. That is going to be it for the video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to check back tomorrow probably for another positional ranking.